A lot of times when we are thinking about what kinds of products we want to use, we're focusing on the wrong things. Like literally the wrong things. You're focusing on, am I 3A, 4C, 5, blah, 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 blah. I know 5 is not a thing, but still. We're focusing on these numbers and letters that really don't matter. Your curl pattern really doesn't matter when it comes to choosing products. I'm going to explain in this series where we're talking about the different hair elements. And today, kicking it off with strand thickness. Stay tuned. Hey y'all, my name is Dasha. I'm also known as the hair doula, and today we are talking about texture or thickness, the thickness of your hair strand. So strand thickness, some people will refer to this as texture. I think that gets a little confusing because there's like kind of surface texture and then there's the thickness of your strand. So I'm gonna call this thickness, okay? Thickness. So basically what this is the diameter of your actual hair strand. So is your actual hair strand really fine, or is your actual hair strand really thick, essentially? So fine hair strands have the smallest diameter. So if you were to zoom in, say my finger's a strand of hair, and then you like zoomed in and looked at the diameter of the hair strand, fine hair strands are going to have the smallest diameter, okay? What this means is that because fine hair strands are so small in diameter, they're more susceptible to damage. Sometimes they don't even have that third cuticle layer on the hair strand. And so heat, this is the kind of hair that you really don't want to put heat on, because putting heat on at one time could damage it. Direct heat specifically. You don't want to do a lot of stuff with chemicals, because chemicals are more likely to damage it, because you have fine hair strands. It's more fragile, essentially. So you want to treat your hair for real, like fine silk. Really, everybody needs to be doing that. But if you have fine hair strands, you really need to be doing that. There is a common misconception, I feel like, that black hair can't be fine, and that is false. So, for example, my hair is fine. A lot of my hair strands on my hair are fine hair strands. If you look at them, they're really they're really fine. They're very like smooth and soft and little, and if I straighten my hair even one time, this is why I do not straighten my hair at all, my hair gets damaged. And people have tried to refute that with me all the time, but I literally talked to my hairstylist about it to make sure I wasn't crazy, and she said, no, you do have that type of hair to where if you straighten it one time, you will experience damage. So you're correct. So you can be black and have fine hair. And then sometimes, we'll get into some of that other stuff later. I swear, every time I'm recording a video, Layla decides to eat food. Every time. So if you hear some crunching, you know, she's just enjoying a nice meal while I'm recording a video. No biggie, it's cool, it's whatever. Next, medium hair strands. I mean, they're in the middle. They're not as fragile. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then they're in the middle. They're not as fragile as fine hair. They're not gonna be as thick as coarse hair. So coarse hair obviously has the largest diameter. It's also definitely gonna have all of those cuticle layers on it. So it's gonna be a little bit stronger. It's also more resistant to heat and chemical processing. So if you've ever gotten a relaxer and it was really hard for the relaxer to take to your hair, like you had to keep it in your hair for a really long time, you probably have thick or coarse hair strands. Or if when you straighten your hair, it doesn't respond to heat very well and you have to like use a lot of heat or very high heat for it to respond, you probably have coarse hair strands, okay? If you have coarse hair strands, that means that if you're using heat, it's gonna require more heat. Your hair is probably gonna require more time to do. That it just comes with the territory of having coarse hair. It's stronger, it's gonna require more time to do. And you're gonna need more hold in your styling products in order to receive your desired result. Because again, it's harder to manipulate, right? If you think about clothes, And you know how some clothes are harder to iron out the wrinkles than other clothes? And then there's the clothes where it's like you gotta really, really iron, you gotta really put your back into it. And there's some clothes where you gotta really iron and put your back into it, and then there's other clothes where if you put a little steam on it, the wrinkles just fall right out, right? Well, coarse hair is more like those clothes where you gotta really put your iron into it. Those clothes are more structured, they're stronger, they're definitely like quality material, and it just takes, not to say that the other ones aren't quality material, because there's quality materials where all it can take is steam because it's so whatever. Anyways, that was a rant. What I'm saying is though, is with coarse hair, you just have to put a little bit more time and effort into it. You have to make sure that you have more hold for your products, specifically was what I was talking about before I went on my rant. You have to make sure you have more hold on your products. So you're gonna want gels and things that have a stronger hold. If you're trying to achieve a wash and go, for example, you're going to need something that's got a stronger hold. So yeah, that's really it. Fine hair is a little bit weaker. It's more easily damaged. Medium hair, you're kind of just in the middle of fine and coarse hair. And then coarse, thick hair, it's gonna take more heat if you're heat styling it, more time to do potentially, and it's going to take stronger styling products in order to style it in certain ways. So none of these things are good or bad. They're just things to be aware of when you're doing your hair, right? You just want to be aware. You want to understand your hair so that you can be doing what's best for your hair. Coarse hair is not worse than fine hair. Fine hair is not worse than coarse hair. They just need different tactics, different kinds of love and care, okay? So this series is really about embracing your hair. It's not so much about comparing your hair and wishing that you had a different kind of hair. So I hope that when you're listening to the different things that I'm saying, that you're really just strategically thinking about how you can give your hair the best treatment that it needs, you know, for the kind of hair that it is. It's just meant to be a resource, okay? Just a resource. Love yourself, because you a baddie. You're amazing. You're awesome. That's all I got for y'all today. Yeah, Layla, tell them. That's all we got for y'all today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with someone that you think could benefit from knowing a little bit more about their hair, and we will see you soon. Bye.